Congratulations to Professor of Glitches, former INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu, as you don't make him into the list of Tinubu appointees for ambassador. As you serve for 10 years as INEC chairman and on your retirement, retire with a legacy of glitches, President Tinubu don't see you worthy to be appointed as ambassador. Congratulations. We wish you a tenure filled with even more glitches. And one day you go come tell Nigerians, Yakubu, what caused the glitch. So Nigerians, when a master strategy president don't release list of ambassadors, so it took President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and APC government 2 years and 2 months, plus pressure from US President Donald Trump, to come up with a miserable and unfortunate list of ambassadors filled with failed politicians and political sycophants, political hallelujah boys, people wey go stop at no level of political banditry and mischief in order to get political appointment. It take the president of a master strategy government 2 years and 2 months to come up with such a miserable and hopeless list. Make yourself reason am as an APC supporter so that tomorrow una no go say, you dey criticize government. President Tinubu recalled ambassadors in September of 2023. 2 years and 2 months later, plus pressure from US government, it take the president wey supposed to be master strategist 2 years and 2 months to come up with a list filled with political sycophants. A list where reinforce the belief, say for Nigeria, it is a reward for criminality. The more criminal-minded you are, the more likely you will be rewarded with more power. 2 years and 2 months to produce list where consist of Fanika Yode Reno Mokri, former governor of Abia State Okeze Ikpazu, former governor of Enugu State Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. Na the list where take on 2 years and 2 months. Ori buruku lenshe Nigerian government. Ori buruku lenshe. This is a shame of government. This is textbook definition of how not to govern a country. So even in the midst of all the challenges where Nigeria they face, at a time when Nigeria needs people, steady hands, professionals wey go fit launder the image of the country, engage meaningfully with international community to build and strengthen our bilateral relationship, the president would rather still engage in politicking. It is always politics. There is no time where politics go give way for governance or leadership. So for 2 years and 2 months, a list of people where you forfeit produce a night after the election. In fact, throughout the campaign, una for don't draft the list of all the people. It take una 2 years and 2 months. Shame on all of you as government. Shame on you if this is what people can offer. If it go take 2 years and 2 months, this is supposed to be government of master strategies. People will build Lagos. It reach time to build Nigeria. Building materials don't finish. Shame of a country. It shows how unfortunate Nigerians get to have this kind of persons or characters in positions of leadership. What are you teaching other people and the younger generation? That the more criminal minded you are, the more likely you go get favor or you go get reward in governance. Now so Nigeria be. Is it loyalty to country or loyalty to one person? May God deliver Nigerians. Because the one where we did so now, this is not just bad government, it is an affliction. It is a curse. It is a plague. May Nigeria get the wisdom and courage to deliver themselves, because this cannot be sustainable. Congratulations to all the appointees, but most importantly, congratulations to Professor of Glitches, Mahmoud Yakubu. We hope it was worth it. One day, Nigerians go know wetin cause the glitch, and Nigerians will deliver themselves. Master strategists, congratulations on your list of ambassadorial nominees. May God help Nigeria, but may Nigerians help themselves even more. God bless Nigeria. My name is Peter for Nigeria.
It's the day that we will know who is doing Oribu. Reno Mokri, this is the day where we will know who is doing Oribu, whether na you or na my papa team my father and team Reno. Make una watch this video. Watch this video.
If Bola Tinubu approaches you to work with him, would you?
It will never happen.
Okay, which one? Which of the scenarios? Him approaching you or you accepting to work with him?
Oh my gosh, I don't want to betray privilege. Somebody from Bola Tinubu's camp has already reached out to me, and I told the person that, look, it cannot happen. I can't do it. It's just against my principles. I'm not. Some people can do that. It's not in my DNA. I can't do it. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I wish Bola Tinubu well if he eventually is sworn in and then the courts uphold his victory. But I can never work with him.
Okay. So, Mamapee, it's time for you to prove and confirm your DNA. Shebi, my shameless family, shameless, undeniably shameless family has offered you ministerial appointment, diplomatic appointment. Oh yeah? Who they do Oribu now? You that will not accept it, or you that they came to offer? I have just one question. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu Baba Jagaban, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which secret you keep for Reno hand? Tell us the secret that you kept in Reno Mokri's hand. That after all said and done, when Reno said that our president incoming na drug lord, na Reno carry money, abi na una sponsor Reno, go America, go confirm certificate, confirm everything. So, who is denying who now? Sheripe ori bule nse looto. So government position, diplomatic position has become an instrument of compensation. Let me tell you people something. No, I will never deny that I am not you people's wife. But if I mama shori bu and we will be looking at you, Inyanika come to accept. So Reno Mokri that said that he can never work with Asiwaju is the same person you people now offered diplomatic appointment to come and go and represent Nigeria on the international platform. So now I want to see whether that Senate, Akpabio, who you keep your secret with, make we know, so that by the time you confirm Reno, another time will come when you will also confirm that one, because I don't understand what appointment is. Is it for the people that tell you the truth, or is for the people that lie, or is for the people that bully, or is for the people that want the betterment of our country called Nigeria? Now this one I go take proof will be already broken among two of now. Now this one will go take no who be the reborn bastards. Whether na Reno go deny, say you no want, thank you for the offer, or now go disgrace on ourselves. Because the way you people appoint public office holders is questionable. It's questionable. Line so ye Dele Asiwaju. If you want to employ chief security officer for body law, you can appoint anybody. If you want to recruit the person that will be supplier, employ anybody. National appointment is not for compensation to you. Make una stop this disgrace now. My family. Reno. Make una no do 2027 election if una don't give Reno appointment. What is the point? Make everybody kuku carry mic. Go there shout Asiwaju. Then we know say the incoming commissioners and ministers. Now I want to buy Asiwaju jeno lo ma pada wa je incoming minister. Ori bule nse. Tẹ́ bá fún Reno l'appointment yín ti bàjẹ́, táwọn ọmọ yín ti bàjẹ́ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀, táwọn ọmọ yín máa padà bàjẹ́ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ni. Because we need to set best of examples. Our young children are watching. The international people are watching. So if you people don't know that people are watching, you better start to know that people are watching your footsteps. What then when you bati tekuida, ne pada bere kuto pababeni. Teach this young generation what it means to be disloyal and dishonest to your country, and see what they will turn up to be. Nobody should arrest anybody. Make the FCC, police officer, no they arrest anybody again. It don't be free country with free will now. I want to do to
Two things should happen. Either the president comes out to say that I'm a drug baron or I'm a drug addict. Reno Mokri was right. When he went to Chicago, he was doing the Lord's work. I'm the one who you people should be attacking. You people should leave Reno Mokri. Either the president comes out to say that, or he should withdraw that nomination. You see, it is as simple as ABC. Person say you be drug baron, abi, he go bring evidence, and now you can't give a nomination. This is either bribery or, please tell me in the comment section if I'm going mad. Looks like either bribery or stupidity. Because how? This man has a dented character. How do you tell me that out of 200 million people, you didn't see who to nominate as an ambassador? It is a reno mockery that the world recognizes as a flippant fellow, a liar, a man with multiple tongues. That is who wants to be ambassadorial for us abroad. Look at the other one, Ikpeazu, somebody who as a governor rubbished his state, a thief, somebody who gave empowerment to pregnant women during his time as governor. Guess the empowerment? 500 naira. That is the person you people are putting for nomination as some bastards and saying I should not shout. How is the world going to look at us? Look at Mahmoud Yakubu. The worst elections in the history of Nigeria, your election, sir, was conducted by him. Even Yaradua had the decency to come out to say, I know the election that brought me into power was flawed, but I will fix it. Have you had that decency? Instead, you nominate the election chairman as an ambassador. What the? Nigeria, when are you going to protest? When are you going to come outside and say it's enough? When are you going to get to your elastic limits? When will you just say, you know what, fuck it, everybody fall aside? President, we don't want this. Either you do this or we do that. When I'm curious, where is your threshold? Where does this stop? When will you get tired? When will these things eventually, erupt, just disgust you, and you come out like a volcano? When? Never. Cowards. Oh, since the other one, it became, then they put as list. The labor of our heroes past has now been in vain. Jesus, so sad. And their pockets, a nation divided in chaos, war, and disunity.
I'm seeing persons who have no business anywhere where sensible human beings are gathered being appointed to go and represent Nigeria as ambassadors. Have you seen our president at international forum? He will be stood to one corner, incapable of mixing with the persons he was meant to be interfacing with. These persons are constantly in the front of the people, debasing themselves, and these are the persons that we are meant to be represented by. Femi Fani-Kayode, reno mockery. The drunk that was in Enugu. And we are lying to ourselves that we are still possessed of a country. You shout and send out distress signals when the state is failing, is structurally weak, not when it has imploded. And let me be very clear about this. You only speak to those who can hear you. And it is unfortunate that the Nigerian state is completely incapable of hearing. So my SOS is not to the Nigerian state. My SOS is to everyone and anyone who is still capable of hearing. Whether that be foreign governments, whether that be Nigerians in the diaspora, whether those be Nigerians who are also victims right here in Nigeria with me, it is time we all come to the understanding of the fact that this is not about rearranging deck chairs on a sinking ship. The state is sinking. Look, it's lost territory. It cannot control its own territory. And this is in stages. Let me show you. In Katsina, Buhari's own state, entire local government areas are in the hands of what we euphemistically refer to as bandits. We have spoken volumes about the true definition of the terrorists that the Nigerian state mollycoddle and call bandits. They control local governments. They're collecting taxes. They are collecting taxes. Our government is incapable of projecting power into those places. It has no capacity to do that. What I am explaining to you is that whilst you might be ensconced in a situation similar to mine, where I am capable of speaking Dogonturenchi in air-conditioned spaces, there are Nigerians burying their loved ones today because the Nigerian state has failed in its most basic duty of protecting them. You can call it any name you care to call it. The person is being killed in Katsina, you can't call that genocide. Those are fellow Fulanis and Muslims too. But right now, today, as we're speaking, somebody else, another branch of the madness that has been licensed and tolerated by the Nigerian state, is murdering somebody because they are Christians and because they are non-Muslims, because they own their land that these other persons are coveting. They are killing those persons and taking over their land, and the Nigerian state is stood by. Complicit. Complicit. That is what I call it. Complicit. Entire communities, villages, destroyed and resettled, and the Nigerian state stands by. That is the one that is genocide. It exists side by side with the terrorism of the one that we call bandits. It exists side by side with the terrorism of the one that is the mineral bandits. Those ones who will chase people off their land because some persons who have legal mining licenses require the services of bandits to access mineral rights that have been given in spite of the existing historical rights of the owners of the land. This is the reality. So even talking about save our soul, it is because the persons who should be saving the Nigerian have become complicit in the ruination of the Nigerian. Our government is complicit in the evil that has overtaken this land. So I am saying save our soul, and this is to anyone who still cares about humanity. Don't wait until you are seeing sins from our cities of slaughter, because it is coming. That is the reality. All that is standing between us and also slaughter is the illusion of a state that has already failed or is rapidly failing. How can you say it's not a failed state where the state is no longer able to project power and it does not have a monopoly of force? This is the same country where in the south, Tanteta is required to guard our waterways, a country that has a navy. What do you call that? What do you call that? You talk to me about private military contractors. This is the same country where Sari Dokubo openly tells all of us that he operates as a non-state actor under the license of the state to carry out missions that is not even accountable to law. The rules of engagement is unknown to anybody. The terms of engagement completely unknown to anybody. Opaque in the extreme. And that is why in the south you have unknown gunmen, unknown men, you have this one, you have that one, madness everywhere, and he'll tell you how many states he has operated in. Why won't he boast about it in a country overtaken by impunity? My friend too, Philip, on Facebook was quipping about how maybe FC London should have made the ambassadorial list. How could he make the list when they need him for the 2027 election and all the other strong damn things that has to be done in the country? That is the extent of the country. It has lost its monopoly of force. Everywhere you turn in Nigeria, in the southwest is Agbero, in the southeast is largely partly Agbero, largely separatist agitation, non-state actors, sometimes licensed by the state. That's before you begin to factor in the handful and terrorists. The same thing in the south. The south, you have the handful and terrorists. Yesterday in Enugu, people were kidnapped. In Enugu, persons known to me were kidnapped. As I've been speaking with you online, I have had calls made to me from the phone number of a friend who has been kidnapped. That is the extent of the putrefaction of this state. You might have noticed my distraction a few minutes ago when I was starting this. It was because I was receiving calls from the number of a friend who had been kidnapped by Fulani terrorists in the state. So let's be clear about something. This is not something that is happening to them. It's beginning to happen to us. It's coming home. It is coming home. You have to align this again with the erosion of legitimate authority. Look, ambassadorial list came out. And what did you see? Yahoo, Mahmoud, the one who declared election in the middle of the night and told all of you, go to court. They named him an ambassador just a little over 2 years after he supervised a fraudulent election. Look, justice must not only be done, it must be said to have been done. This is a deliberate undermining of the electoral process. It should not be. It should not and could not be that we normalize evil such as this one, where persons who have occupied position of trust that they deliberately, wantonly breached to the knowledge and sight of everybody, and then they are rewarded politically, and it is okay. And you say that is not a failing state. How do you build institutions that endure when such nepotism, such brazen acts of corruption are rewarded by the persons who benefited from this evil? And we are not talking about the faith. Okay, so how do you have faith in that electoral process? So I believe worship it or whatever the name of the new INEC chairman is, just like it used to be that when you become the NBA chairman, you automatically made it to become the Attorney General. So now once you become INEC chairman, there's an ambassadorial position waiting afterwards. Is this what we are saying to ourselves? And we think it's not time to shout to those who are still capable of hearing that there is nothing right about this. There's nothing right about this. It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. How do you talk about a country when it doesn't even take itself serious enough to have ambassadors in foreign countries 2 years after a man has smuggled himself to power. You would imagine that a man with the master plan who grabbed this, snatched it, we should have governance ready to run by day one, 2 years after. And this is the best that this system has done. Look all around us. We have a youth bulge. We don't even know how many we are. We lie to ourselves and run with all kinds of estimates, from 180 million to 200 million to 230 million to 220 million. Nobody really knows how many we are. But this is deliberately so that all the illegal immigrants who have overtaken our country, you already have them padded in. We don't know how many you have, but one thing that is clear is that there is a huge youth bulge. The unfortunate thing is that the bulk of this is untrained. Where it is trained, it is miseducated. Where it is not, there is a whole heap of issues staring this in the face. This country is failing, is on its way to failure. You have huge population displacement all over the place. I spoke about the one in Plateau State that is properly documented. 64 villages despoiled and resettled. And there are still governments in this country. The local government chairman is collecting money in relation to those places that have been despoiled and resettled. How? You have groups of internally displaced persons camps. Nobody is looking at them. But we are busy resettling, rehabilitating terrorists, and the victims are left ignored. How do you expect to have peace so that a country might endure or even survive? You have unresolved group grievances. The Igbo have genuine grievances against Nigeria. So do the Ijaws, so do the Yoruba, so do everybody in Nigeria. Almost everyone has one grievance or the other, legitimate ones against the Nigerian state, and we dare not ask questions. If we speak, we are intimidated, in some cases killed, just for speaking. Nothing more, just for speaking. Killed, imprisoned, victimized, just for speaking, not for anything more. Somebody was said to have incited terror. Okay, life imprisonment. Somebody was a field commander, 20 years in jail. Make it make sense. A man kills a terrorist who was trying to kill him on his own farm. You convict him for murder. Make it make sense. How is that? So you see, we are getting to a point where we must understand that multiple red lines have been crossed by the Nigerian state. We have a situation today where Nigerians no longer emigrate. It was Shewa Nicola Kokuti who first coined the word, and it's quite succinct. They are escaping now. Let me use myself to illustrate this point. I have never desired to see my children live outside Nigeria. Everything I do initially was about making sure that this country is preserved for our children, so that they do not become indentured slaves in other men's land. So, whilst when it was convenient to have packed my bags and baggages and joined the diaspora, it never crossed my mind. I could never see myself living in the diaspora. And I spent years convincing my children that they want nothing to do with a life in exile. But as the university system collapsed, like most other persons in my generation, we spent money, great sums, educating our children abroad. Sometimes some of us sold our substances, properties acquired over time, savings. We sent them abroad to go to school. And then there's a phenomenon that my generation is now having to deal with. Those young men and women that we spent our substances and our youth training abroad, they don't want to come to Nigeria. They are voting with their feet. They can see the ruination of Nigeria, and they have decided that they will help us in shouting, "Save your souls," from the comfort of exile. Everything we rejected and repudiated is being thrown right back in our faces because we failed to build this country. My own son will tell me he doesn't want to come back to Nigeria. He is a boy I raised understanding that this is home. But can I complain? Have we built a country they can be proud of? You want them to come home for 30 December? They will come. They will come home for 30 December. Always waiting for the first opportunity to japa. Some of them wouldn't even come to Lekki or VI. They rather stay in Ikeja so that they are close to the airport in case everything goes belly up. That is the country we have built, and you don't reckon we should be shouting, "Save our souls." Let me be very clear so that you get it and get it quickly. When you have this much human flight and brain drain, it is contextual evidence of the failure of the state. They recognize, this one that I'm telling you with double trenching that the ship is sinking. Those kids, they understood it early. They can see it, that this country is not, I wrote a piece some years ago after a visit to the UK. It struck me in the face. I said, Nigeria is not a jungle. I wrote the first one, I wrote the second one, Nigeria is not a jungle 1, Nigeria is not a jungle 2. That was when I realized that if it was a jungle, we would have some order. They can see the disorder, the chaos with which we live, the organized chaos, the madness that we have acculturated. These kids can see it because they didn't grow up with the madness. They couldn't have any excuses for it. We escorted them. Now they come around. They call it holiday. It's almost like going on holiday in a war zone, like a safari. That is what Nigeria has become to the diaspora. They come around, barely tolerate us for 2-3 weeks, and then the japa. You know the meaning of japa? That is when you are running with your hand, eating your handpit. That means you are flapping your handpit as you're running with alarm. That is how they are living Nigeria, running with alarm, because they see no hope. And this is why our case has gone beyond the let's warn ourselves. We should be shouting, save our souls. But of course, you probably not hear me. You're too busy dancing Razonto, Bonner Boy is this, Davido is that, this one Yash is like that one 2 Yash, that one 2 BF. Don't worry, a generation will come. It might very well be that this is all they would have to navigate their way back to sanity. Because we've come to a point where multiple red lines have been crossed. And when these lines have been crossed, it's almost impossible to save this country without a systemic reset. Without a systemic reset, there's very little that can be done. We have a country where everything about the economic indicator suggests that the state itself is the one that has weaponized poverty against the people. It's always been the case, but it has accelerated in the last 10+ years, in the years of the APC. The state has made impoverishment a policy. 46% of Nigerians live below the poverty line. And this was accelerated in the last 10 years. A person against whom you have weaponized ignorance is already doomed to poverty. That is the reality of the Nigerian, and has been his reality for a long time. It didn't start with the APC years. It started in the years of the military, particularly the Babangida years. But it has accelerated dramatically and dangerously in the last 10 years. You have a situation where the state has rolled out policies deliberately designed to sustain the poverty of the people. I'll show you. These are very demonstrable things. When you begin to hear of, subsidy is gone, what is the tangible benefit of that policy to the Nigerian? There must be benefits intended when policies are mooted or initiated or executed. Dele Farotimi is on record as making light of the fraudulence of the Nigerian politicians when they opposed Goodluck Jonathan's attempt at removing fuel subsidy in 2011. He was very, very eloquent in making fun, and they were laughing all over it and about it. But the question is this: at what cost to the Nigerian people? Now you've removed this subsidy. What has been the benefit to the Nigerian people? Food inflation went through the roof. Nothing has happened in terms of infrastructure development. All that has happened is that governors have more money to steal as to the presidency. So what has been the benefit? You have gone ahead to weaponize everybody and to weaponize poverty against everybody. There is a growth today of a hidden and illicit economy. I'll show you. Because of the terrorism in the mineral sector, you have persons who have made billions from gold and diamond and other mineral resources that have been illegally extracted and exported. These persons have money. They have armed bandits to ensure their continuing access to these riches. The state is being compromised in most times, in most cases, by persons who are within the government itself. To whom do we report the evil when the evil is the one in government? How do you report the evil to the evil? Matawale is your Minister of Defense. The amount of allegations against that man alone, pointing at him as a terrorist sponsor, is scary. It is scary. You see complicity everywhere you turn. It is scary. And then you ask yourself, to who do you expect? To who do you turn in expectation of salvation? When the persons who should cure the ailment are the ones who are making it to fester. How? What are you supposed to do? Everywhere you turn, there is economic decline. Everywhere. Everywhere. Even government itself sometimes cannot pay salaries. And you talk about a government when it is already collapsing. Look, when the people look to his government and all they see is just widespread perception of corruption and power privatized for the benefit of a few. Nigeria today, I've spoken to it, I spoke of the Feudal Republic of Nigeria. That is what we have today. Power being exercised for the benefit of a chosen few. I can't even use the word elite for them because there is nothing elitist about these people. All they do is consume. They are not unlike that insect that stays inside grain, eats and defecates until it dies. That's what the Nigerian politician does. No purpose, no mission, nothing. And those are the ones to whom we are meant to take our appeal. Look all around you. The state is collapsing everywhere you turn. You have states within the states. Yes. I told you last week of the terrorists. The war Jankari, the one that killed Aminu Dahi and was wearing his uniform. An ACP, Assistant Commissioner of Police, was murdered by a terrorist, and the terrorist was wearing his uniform to attend what they called a peace rally, where terrorists had told government, we don't want to see any policeman. It wouldn't surprise me if General Uba's uniform turns up on the back of a terrorist, because this is what we have tolerated as a country. Now, there is a famous dictator. He says that the judiciary is the last hope of the common man. You and I'm not exactly common, because I am not incapable of speaking for myself. But there are innumerable Nigerians who are essentially common. And those are the ones that should be the barometer by which you gauge the effectiveness of a judicial system. But no Nigerian looks to the judiciary for hope. If they did, the retired chief of naval staff would not have required the Yerima to stop Wike. It's because nobody has any hope in a judiciary that has proven itself incapable of delivering justice or equity. So everybody takes the law into their hands because nobody has any hope. We don't place any hope in the judiciary. But what we fail to understand is that there is an adjunct to this. It is merely symptomatic of the people's resolve and understanding of the fact that the law does not rule. The people know that the law does not rule. The lawyers themselves admit that the law does not rule, which is why they would deploy impunity against impunity. This accelerates the collapse of this state. All he's saying to all of us, and I'm saying it to us now, save our souls, because the truth is, we cannot rely on the traditional institutions of state. All the traditional institutions of state have been compromised. There's no justice to be found in the judiciary. I was a practicing lawyer. I can tell you as a fact that there's no justice in our system. I wrote a book on it, and every day they prove me right. Even in dealing with me, they prove me right. You cannot find justice in the Nigerian court. There are exceptions, undoubtedly. There are still good men and women within that system. But as a general rule, the reality is that you don't go to a Nigerian court, hopefully, because they are hopeless. That is the general situation. It is hopeless. It is hopeless.